In Oregon, we care about affordable access to medicine, and we care about a free and open internet. Am I right?
Yeah!
The problem we're facing today is that historically, free trade agreements allow corporations to negotiate trade deals with their best interest, and this creates a race to the bottom for environment and labor standards.
Yes.
Today we're opposing Trade Promotion Authority, also known as fast-track legislation. Fast-track is used to speed trade deals through Congress by forcing an up or down vote, by limiting discussion time, which eliminates a filibuster, and does not allow for any amendments. This is problematic for many reasons, but especially because we, the public, have not been able to see any of the fine print of this trade agreement, and Congress is only allowed limited access to the trade deal, and they're not telling us anything. With fast track, our elected officials cannot effectively oversee trade policy and to make sure that they protect our clean water, our clean air, and good paying jobs in Oregon. Does this sound like a good process to you?
No!
The information that we have gotten is from WikiLeaks chapters on the TPP, and from what we've seen, they don't look great. Can I see a show of hands and a holler if you think that we should protect endangered species and our rainforests?
Yes!
Can I get a show of hands and a holler if you think we should have strong safeguards to protect and maintain our wild fisheries?
Yes!
Can I get a holler if you want to support our local family farms here in Oregon?
Yes!
These are all important issues that should be written into strong and binding environmental chapters to protect our natural resources and American jobs. We need a ban on the trade of illegally harvested timber. Many of the Pacific Rim nations that engage in the trade of endangered wildlife, this is including rhinoceros, this is tigers, these are all of our beautiful and so important biologically diverse animals here. We need to have binding provisions for sustainable fisheries, including a ban on shark finning. We are currently, many of the countries that are in these negotiations completely allow shark finning, which is collecting sharks, cutting off their fins to be used in soup and fancy foods, and then you toss the whole shark back into the ocean. Completely unacceptable. Another issue that has caused a lot of debate lately is the investor-state dispute settlement clause in the investment chapter. Has anyone here heard of that?
Yeah. I'll sue you about that.
Provisions in this trade deal are designed to give foreign corporations as much power as possible, allowing them to sue countries in private courts for nearly any local law that they think impairs their profits. How do we feel about that?
No!
This includes local laws that are meant to protect public health and safety. Already, corporations including Chevron, ExxonMobil, Dow Chemical, Cargill, and Philip Morris, among many others, have brought over 500 lawsuits against countries, causing millions of dollars in taxpayer funding to be used to fight for their own health and safety. This number will only increase with the passage of the TPP with the investment chapter as we currently understand it. Now, I can go on for a while about how Oregon exports have fallen under free trade agreements, how inequality increases and wages stagnate, but I'll let some of our other folks discuss these with you today. Thank you so much for coming out today. These are truly important issues that we're fighting for. So we need to keep this up, and we need to defeat fast track. So coming up, I'll have Ted Gleichman speak. One of the issues that I didn't quite mention was our energy exports and how those will be impacted. And Ted is ready to talk about it.
Could you hold the bullhorn for me?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming out today. I see several people here who were at the amazing anti-propane export hearing last night. Raise your hands if you put up with that 6-hour hearing. It was awesome. And let's give a quick round of applause to the 300 of our people who turned out for that. It was just round one. We lost a split decision, 6-4. But a couple of years ago, before the climate movement took off the way it has, it wouldn't even have been a split decision. So we need to take heart and keep fighting. But these fossil fuel export battles are going to go on for the duration, and it's clear that the grassroots matter. We have a deep and unshakable commitment to keeping on. We won't stop until we save this goddamn planet, whether it likes it or not. Senator Wyden and his colleagues need to know that, and so what we're all doing is critically important. So give yourselves a quick round of applause. And actually, of course, it's a sacred planet, and it's one of the best ones we have. At least it's in the top 3. And it would like to be saved. That's why we can't let corporate greed for fossil fuel exports destroy it. Here's the deal. First, only half of the stock value of the fossil fuels traffickers comes from annual operating results. The other half comes from proven reserves. And we know that at least 80% of those proven reserves have to be left in the ground. So the carbon energy companies aren't just in a battle against the planet, a battle which they and we will ultimately lose if they continue, if they are allowed to continue. They are desperately fighting each other to make the maximum profit in the little window that they have left. But energy is the core commodity of industrial society. We'll come back to that. So the second key point is that the political theory of energy export is that the government needs to determine whether it is in the public interest to protect our economy that way. The government, in its ineffable wisdom, has already determined that we have so much coal, we can export it until hell boils over. They may have had some help in that decision from the coal corporations. But that's not true for oil and gas. Oil export is prohibited, although the Wall Street Journal thinks that export ban is out of date and unfair to the 1%. But the issue of gas export brings us to Fast Track and the TPP. The two proposed liquefied natural gas terminals in Oregon, the only ones on the West Coast, and the pipelines to feed them from the fracking fields of the Rockies would suck up some $14 billion in construction costs and ship more than 2 billion cubic feet of methane per day to burn in Asia. If these abominations, in the eyes of our lordly planet, are built, that would be $14 billion that could not go to clean, green, sustainable union jobs. Jobs that we need for smart grid renewable energy and earthquake and tsunami refuge centers and first responder and hospital reconstruction. So one of my friends in labor says, we need to build bullet trains, not shoot explosive pipelines through old growth forests. And there's an unbelievable amount of climate-killing methane in these projects that we need to keep in the ground. So where do Fast Track and TPP come in? The Natural Gas Act of 1935, no, don't go to sleep, says that the U.S. Department of Energy has to make a formal determination that any export of natural gas is in the U.S. public interest, because it's such a vital piece of our current economy. But it was amended to support corporate trade, and now says that any country with a corporate trade agreement can buy as much LNG from us as they bloody well please. Right now, the only Asian country that qualifies for that corporate trade exemption is South Korea, and they do import a lot of natural gas. But Japan and the other TPP countries would suck North America dry of methane if we don't stop it. As climate activist Bill McKibben says, quote, to some degree, geography is destiny. If Senator Wyden and his new best friend, Utah Senator Orrin Hatch, get Fast Track through the Senate and the TPP is approved, the financial tsunami out of Asia will create an unprecedented earthquake of environmental degradation, bad stuff, environmental bad stuff, locally and globally. So should we stop all exports? Of course not. We support responsible trade, but we here in Oregon have a major problem in our planning on this, and only you can solve it. As we work to build locavore agriculture as part of our adaptation to our new climate, and as we move away as quickly as we can in this emergency situation from the excesses of our corporate industrial economy, we here in Oregon don't know what to call one of our most important exports and one of our healthiest. Are they filberts or are they hazelnuts? So I'm going to take a poll. Everybody for filberts shout filberts.
Pillars!
Everybody for hazelnuts, shout hazelnuts.
Hazelnuts!
It's a tie. We better export both, and we better grow more of them and create some good jobs doing that with the bullet trains to the farm fields. But let's talk in a loud voice 3 times about the 3 main forms of hydrocarbon export. Coal, oil, gas, none shall pass. Coal,
Oil, gas, none shall pass. Oil, gas, none shall pass. Oil, gas, none shall pass.
3 times.
And while we're in the mood of chanting things, does everybody have a chant sheet that needs one? Alright. Let's do a quick call and response on the right side of the page. I'm going to call and you guys can respond, please. You can also join me in the phone. A clean environment is what we need. A green economy is what we need. Affordable medicine is what we need. Good paying jobs are what we need. Responsible trade is what we need. The environment is under attack. Workers' rights are under attack. Can't be fast-tracked. People's health is under attack. Can't be fast-tracked. Family farms are under attack. Affordable medicine is under attack. Show me what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. Thank you. How about a round of applause for Morgan, who has organized the event? Sierra Club for hosting today. Raise your hand if you're with Sierra Club. It is really awesome to be here at this event with you guys. Thank you so much for hosting this. My name is Carly, and I'm representing our Oregon Working Families, which is a minor political party here in Oregon. When I hear about filberts and hazelnuts, you know what I think of? Democrats and Republicans. That's why I got involved in Oregon Working Families, is because we need a political party and a political movement that's going to stand up for working families and stand up for the environment. And I think that's why we're all here today, is because we believe that things like this should move forward, and they should move forward because Democrats who have stood for NAFTA, have stood for CAFTA, both things that we know have led to almost 60,000 Oregon workers who are now on assistance, specifically for folks who've lost their jobs because of trade.
Oh, no.
Are now being forced to look at what taxes, and we see more people lose their jobs, and more people lose the environment suffer, and our communities suffer. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for allowing me to be here and speak with you. And I would like to ask everybody who's here to consider that if Whiting, or if Schrader, or if Blumenauer, if these folks vote for the TPP and Fast Track, the thing that hasn't changed is them, right? NAFTA happened, CAFTA happened, if TPP happens, what's going to happen? How many of you have been here one time for an action in this square? Yeah. How many of you have been here 5 times? How many of you don't know how many times you've been here for an action for something that's happening that's just plain wrong? The thing that doesn't change is the Whitens and the Blumenauers and the folks who keep making the same decisions that aren't right for Oregonians. So please take this pledge with me. If folks vote for TPP and Fast Track, we have got to change the political system. We have got to start voting for people who are in Oregon Working Families.